Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well. I know it has definitely been some time since the last video that has dropped on this channel, but I had to come back here to talk about my boy Vegeta. This is absolutely, I don't care what anybody else is saying. I think right now, hands down, the best Vegeta to get at this moment in time. Hands down. There is nothing that supersedes this figure in terms of Vegetas at this moment, okay? Now, does that mean it's perfect? Absolutely not. There are some things that definitely could be improved, so to speak, about this figure, which we will get into. I'm not gonna, go too in depth about all the mechanisms of its articulation because it is nothing crazy different than the previously released Daima Vegeta that's already dropped. There are some weird changes though that I think they shouldn't have changed about the figure and just kept the same, honestly. But we will get into all of that as well. First off, let's just clear out all the accessories. It's nothing too crazy, as you know. But as we've seen with the recent drops of the games being Goku, they have started to include a little bit more. So let's kind of go over it here. So as you see, we've got the base sculpt, static, face in here. They also are throwing in these windswept head sculpts. Personally, as you heard, I don't really use them, but it is nice to have. And I mean, 2 head sculpts in one package for about 37 bucks or so. I mean, I can't really complain there, right? You are going to get a total of 4 different expressions, which you will see here on the screen. And then you'll also be getting 5 different sets of hands, the standard fist, key blast, fighting stance, things of that nature. And of course, you get the iconic crossed arms. In addition, you get 2 sets of the boots. So you get the one with the yellow padding cover, and you get the standard ones from the Android Saga that have just the white tips as you've seen before. Let me swap those out real quick for you. And with that being said, that's pretty much all his accessories there. Of course, there is some, interchangeability. You can, technically speaking, use different hands from different figures and whatnot. Those such as official and non-official to a degree. But with that being said, I want to talk a little bit about the design and kind of the things I do and don't like. We'll get into the articulation, I promise, but it's again, nothing super duper different than what the Daima Vegeta offers. But let me actually pull that Vegeta out because he's going to kind of be the crux of the conversation here into the differences. So don't mind that I have the old 2.0 head on here, but take a big look at that. I mean, you can already see the differences just looking at him side to side. Of course, not only are the colors, slightly different, right? We've got a little bit more of a brighter palette here. We've got a lot less muscle tone definition on the Daima Vegeta variant as well. So as you can see here, a lot less muscle definition there in the crotch area, in the legs. And actually, I mean, you can kind of see it in the gloves too on the hands, that they're very much different. And I've got to kind of position them so they don't fall. But these gloves on the new Vegeta actually are a lot looser. Like you can actually just move them around entirely. And I want to say you could probably take them off. Not really feeling like I want to do that at this time, just in case if I mess it up. But it's a floating piece in there. You can see it move around and freely, twist around. So technically, I mean, you can customize that to your ability a little bit more if you wanted to. But absolutely, the biggest thing that I would say I don't like that they changed is the armor. So when I say that, I mean the material that they use for it. So now it is hard plastic, which doesn't necessarily hinder his movement per se, but it's kind of a why did it need to be changed type of thing. So if I go to articulate the Daima Vegeta's, shoulder up here, you'll notice it stretches, right? It's not a plastic piece built in with a mechanism that this has here, where you can see that it will pop out and lift up here in the backside. And of course, that's not a problem when you can simply just push it down like that. But it's just a question of why, because it didn't hinder his articulation on the previous one. And honestly, I feel like it made it better in some ways because just the flexibility of it, you could pretty much just do whatever you wanted almost. I mean, does it look weird in some positions? Maybe a little bit, but that's kind of where the art of posing comes from and making it work to your advantage. But either way, it's not like it diminishes what he can do. I will say I think it's a little bit of I hate to say it, but I think it's a little bit disingenuous to put the dynamic movable shoulder system as a promotion for this box and figure when it doesn't even have that though. And neither did the Diamond Vegeta, which, as you'll probably see, he didn't have that on his box either, because at the time that I don't think that was being promoted like that. And it wasn't, I don't think it was released or revealed, whatever it was. I think it was the Games Begin Goku that kind of got all that kicked off, but still, he doesn't really have that same system that the the Games Begin Goku has, where it's a really incredible movement system in the shoulder, which we will see again with the kind-hearted Saiyan and the Fighter of Rage Goku. That's the only ones that currently are using that system, and I don't know if they are planning to do that with Vegeta in the future or what, because he can hit his poses, he can hit a Final Flash pose, he can do all that, but it's not nearly as fleshed out as Goku, just being entirely honest there. So when it comes to the articulation, it's not terrible. It could be better, but as it stands right now, it's the best it's ever going to be for Vegeta. But with that being said here, I did say I wanted to get into the issues a little bit, right? So it has been talked about, you know, this figure, it is from, you know, the Vietnam factory. And I will say, yes, Vietnam factory is not perfect. They absolutely have, they've had some questionable releases. This one was from China. So yeah, it didn't have as many issues, if really any, that I think people are experiencing with their Dangerous Pride Vegeta, for instance. Now, my copies don't seem to have this issue as prominent, and I'm guessing I'm just one of the lucky people that don't have to deal with it. But I did see it a little bit on some faceplates, but not all. So for some people on either side, they may notice that the peg is not fully being pushed into the face or the head sculpt, and you're seeing gappage there, or you're having to shave down the actual peg where the ears are in order to have it fully fit. Like I said, I was lucky enough to not have to do that, and I'm thankful. But it's definitely, you know, something that would be annoying. Like, you can kind of see it more so here on the other sculpt. Can I force my way into it? Absolutely. But you can still kind of see it a little bit there. And for me, I'm not really like that detailed about it to where it's gonna bother me, especially if I have it posed on the shelf. Now, if I was staring at it 24/7, you know, then that's a conversation where I might be a little more, you know, upset about it. But as it stands, it's $37 figure. I'm not really that pissy about it. There's a lot more other things to be pissy about than that. Anyways, the other thing is, and I don't know how big of a scope this issue holds, but it feels like some of his hands, the peg holes may be a tad too big, just because they do pop out rather easily, a lot more easily than I'd like them to. Not necessarily a big issue at this time for me, but you can just notice a slight pull and they just fall right off. And I'm not saying that that's totally a bad thing, but I just don't want it to get to a point where they're falling off and I can't even use them, you know? It's a good almost in between versus having them be super tight, potentially breaking, things like that. And lastly, I mean, yeah, there's not really anything super crazy that I noticed that would hinder this figure's movement. I mean, it's just got everything that I think you need at this point. Now, again, I'm not really sure why they would promote it as a dynamic movable shoulder system when his butterfly joint is just that standard up and down, which I don't even need to take that off for you to see. As you can see here, it's quite literally the same system. Like, you can do all of that, And this is where I say it was better on this one, because you could just cross the arms so much more fluently. You cannot do this on that Vegeta because the armor is hard plastic. Again, not really sure why they changed that. Don't know if it had anything to do with the style choice, because you could still get away with that on this version with these colors. I don't know why we aren't there. I can only hope that in the future when they drop another one that they change that. But the next one, I'm presuming, will probably be that base form Vegeta that we saw. I want to say, was it... Ah, man, I don't even remember when that was, but it was definitely several months ago that we saw that, back when we saw the Trunks and the Kid Gohan. Don't remember when that was, but here's hoping. If they could change anything, it's go back to soft plastic on the body. It ain't hurting nobody. It makes your figure 10 times better, honestly. Beyond that, all I can say is, why are they continuing to do this freaking neck peg system, man? I absolutely am annoyed with it. So let's talk about that. Like, it's not an incremental change for him on the adjustable, oh my god, don't clip that. Adjustable neck, you know, he can moderately increase his head size. Don't think that really matters for him, okay? He doesn't have much more range in his neck and head than he would if it was a standard double ball peg. And I get it. They've got to kind of slam the third parties out a little bit more, make you go around some hoops. At the end of the day, you know, all I'm gonna do is simply take this off, take that off, go back to my other figure that has a, you know, custom neck peg that I can borrow. Oh, it got stuck in here. You know, just like that. Gonna go to the new body, gonna plug that sucker right in there, if it will go, you know, and not play with me. Gosh, you're embarrassing me on camera, bro. You gotta get in the peg hole. There we go. You know, bro was about to embarrass me on camera and everything. And then, you know, you put that extra face on there, and now you've got a new Vegeta with another head sculpt that you may prefer, because I've seen some people say they don't like these faces or this head sculpt, which is kind of wild to me. You know, it's a $37 figure at the end of the day. I say for what they put out with this is pretty damn good. And it's within the style of the other figures that hold this kind of design. You know, it's in line with that. That's again why we're lucky enough to have different creatives out there who want to make their own stylistic choices and release those head sculpts. But you can do things like this as well. I mean, most of these expressions and head sculpts will work on him. Now, if you don't happen to have a conversion peg, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to get one of them things, okay? It's really good if you are interested in throwing around and doing different scenes, and just, I don't know, want to customize this Vegeta a lot more. Let me take this peg back off. I'm gonna show you what my favorite kit bash so far is as we close this video out. All right, as I mentioned, my favorite kit bash through in and throughout that I've done so far with him is using the Namek Vegeta head sculpt on this guy. And I already tried, you know, the Saiyan Saga one, or I mean, it's technically Namek Saga Armor Vegeta, but old Battlesuit Vegeta to be more specific. This is a perfect fit if you have a conversion neck peg. Honestly speaking, I don't even feel like I'll need that base Vegeta if it ever drops, because I mean, this right here, just, it looks so good. It looks so good. And I know I didn't really go over the articulation all like crazy like that, but again, it's really nothing crazy. I mean, it's just hard plastic up in the armor, and yes, it just limits him a little bit more because it's not that soft plastic where he can just bend over it, you know, and it's squishy. He can hit his poses, the arms meet in the middle, but they don't really cross over unless you're, you know, gonna use the elbow joints. But again, he can do all his other poses that you've seen him do before. He can kick high up, you know, he can reach over pretty well. Like, it's great. Everything else about the figure is amazing. Just those small little qualities that we had in the prior one, bring them back. There's no reason not to. you've got yourself a stellar figure here. And honestly, if they drop more bodies like this and don't leave him in the dust while they drop like 40 more Gokus, bro, like this is the standard, and it'll go far and wide, honestly. Other than that, like I said, go buy this guy if you don't have a Vegeta, or you've been wanting a Vegeta, or it's time for a refresh. Because honestly, while the 2.0s are great, this guy right here, whatever 0.0 you want to call him, phenomenal, top of the board. And I'm gonna keep saying it. Don't care, will never care. He is the top of the board, top of the line. You gotta get this one. Anyways, I will catch you guys in the next video, whatever that may be. It may be a little bit more sporadic as life gets crazier and busier, but as fun things come out, expect some reviews. I've got Armored All Might on the way. That one I'm looking forward to. I've got Shigaraki on the way. I might just do a dual review with both of them in there. And I've got Marineford Luffy here. I don't know if I'm going to review that one or not, but this guy, he deserved it. He deserves the love and the glory because beautiful. Anyways, I will catch you guys later. Peace.